Magnus Carlsen's most shocking blunders. Magnus Carlsen is a great chess player like no other. His ability to play unexpectedly, yet consistently, is what sets him apart. Not without reason, he has been a world champion since 2013. But even world champions make mistakes. So today, we want to take a look at some of the big mistakes Magnus has made over the years. This is to show you what not to do when playing chess. Magnus versus Veselin Topalov. Magnus plays in a super tournament in his home country and is desperate to win the first game. Everything seemed to be according to plan because in his position, White should have won. Here, however, Magnus lost in time. He thought he would get more time when they arrived at turn 60, but they didn't. Magnus struggled to recover from that loss, finishing with just 3.5 points from 9. Magnus versus Viswanathan Anand. In 2014, Magnus defended his world title against Viswanathan Anand. Magnus won Game 6, but it was far from a convincing win. He just played Fortress to d2, enabling knight captures e5 tactical moves. Luckily for Magnus, Anand played too fast and wasted chances. This is perhaps the most famous mistake in modern World Cup history. Magnus versus Ian Nepomniachtchi. Sometimes when I'm playing chess, I'm desperately looking for that button that can turn my brain on. I have a feeling that's how Magnus felt during this match. He played move 33, c5, and Nepomniachtchi only played move 33, rook captures c5, taking advantage of the fact that the d-pawn was in its place. Magnus versus Gawain Jones. Magnus just played move 17, g2, g4, which was a huge mistake. Gawain Jones finds move 17, f4, moves that threaten bishops in e3 and knights in g5. Jones has come a long way in the process, but being world champion means you're strong enough. Magnus still won. Match against Eric Hansen. Grandmaster Dave Howell couldn't believe his eyes as world champion Magnus Carlsen made a terrible move that cost him his Air Things Masters Round 10 match against Eric Hansen. British commentators were stunned when Carlsen played move 30, rook b1 with white. This cost him a pawn to his Canadian opponent, and the champion immediately withdrew. Magnus versus Merab Gagunashvili. Magnus Carlsen versus Merab Gagunashvili at the 2006 World Blitz Championship. In Carlsen's defense, he is still in his mid-teens. This is Carlsen's move, and he plays e5 to save his pawn, losing his textbook friend. Match between Vallejo and Magnus. It was the first round of the Grand Slam final, which was held in Sao Paulo. Vallejo, who is a top 100 player and a solid grandmaster, has never been able to consistently perform well against a top grandmaster, let alone a number 1 player. He was knocked out by Aronian and Nakamura in the first 2 rounds. After the opening, the mighty Magnus began to dominate the game. Vallejo thought too much and got into a tricky position where Magnus always won, especially against much weaker opponents like Vallejo. He had already thought about how to regain his confidence after a terrible losing streak when move 30, queen d5 hit. Vallejo couldn't believe his eyes. Defeat from Pragnananda due to blunder. Indian Grandmaster R. Pragnananda beat Magnus Carlsen for the second time in his career after the world champion made a mistake in the 5th round of the 16-player Chessables Masters online quick tournament. Their match headed for a dull draw after Pragnananda's 40th move, but in a stunning turn of events, Carlsen missed the next move. The world champion had mishandled his knight in the previous move, while Pragnananda countered with an attack on his back. That is quite a feat, considering he is only the 3rd Indian after the great Viswanathan Anand and Hare Krishna to beat the Norwegian superstar. So, that was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Like the video and subscribe for more such interesting stuff. Do you think that these blunders as a world champion are common? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.